everyone, friends. Today we will be starting one of the most interesting and the one of the most, high demand, rather, one of the topic and the course that we have again designed. So whatever videos we are putting up, first let me explain a brief about this. Whatever videos I'm putting up, these videos are basically focused on a systematic way of learning when it comes to learning the individual subject element. Now, construction safety. So today we are going to talk of construction safety. So when it comes to construction safety, what is important? So what is important is how we look at construction safety in total. So how we take care of it, what we seek to understand from construction industry, what are the things that are included in construction industries, how we can have the correct understanding about construction industry and why it is essential. So when we were designing this, we because this segment is one of the largest segment, because construction industry has a huge potential, and by and large, when it comes to looking at the size of this industry, you can imagine, you step out of your house, everywhere there is development going on, and all the developments, everything that is happening is part and parcel of construction industry. Now when it comes to construction industry and understanding its full potential, it requires a systematic approach to understand this industry as well. So like we did it for industrial safety and for industrial safety basic and international programs and national program both. So all my industrial safety aspects are over. So now we'll be taking on the construction safety or the construction industry. So to understand this, let us understand what we have in the box. So yes, we have systematically put each element in its place, and that is, first is introduction to construction safety, second element is basic of accident prevention, third element is building and other construction worker regulation of employment, that is 1966, and the central rule 1998 silent features we'll be discussing. Then we will be taking roles and responsibility of a supervisor at construction site and toolbox meeting, that is element 4. Element 5 is introduction to work at height and safety in use of ladder and safety in scaffolding. Sixth element is going to be safety in tunneling and excavation, that is safety in concrete work. Then comes electrical safety during temporary electrical installation and safety in welding and gasketing operations. Then comes safety in use of mobile cranes and earth moving equipments, safety in demolition and underpiling. And finally, we'll be taking overview of the statutory related to construction safety except BOCW and rules and acts. Correct? That where we will be discussing on the occupational health and their control measures in construction work. So because we start by element, today's element is the very first element, and that is introduction to construction safety. Now when it comes to introducing a industry, so how we started? So we started with a very systematic flow of the entire activities. That is, we will discuss about ancient times to modern era. So when we what does it mean, ancient times to modern era? We all know that how construction industry has evolved. Now we if we look at the Indian scenario, or if we look at the Indian aspect of the ancient history of India, so we knew construction way before conquerors came to India, because at that time, even in India, construction industry, you can say, was way beyond the vision of any other in the world. Why? Because we had huge constructions of pillars, of perfectly aligned rooms and everything, architecture, everything was there, way beyond way before the conquerors came to India. Now, what happened was, because of the ancient era, all our scriptures and every damn proof that we were good was eliminated, and their history, rather what was discovered by them, was given to us. So we believe, oh, they were so great. But my dear friends, if you go to ancient times and you understand and you try and understand the ancient history, what India has been, or what India, if you see, you don't have to go anywhere. You just have to go around and see. Haven't we seen Mohenjo-daro? Haven't we seen Harappan civilization and their architectures? We have seen. We are aware of it. Haven't we seen Ashoka pillar that is way beyond 2050 BC? So 250 BC Ashoka pillar, it looks like metallic pillar, and it is straight. It is single block of sandstone. So imagine all that is there, and in moonlight it appears like metal. So it is beautifully constructed, things that are there. Not even that. If you see the construction activities way before that, about for our temples, for things excavated, during the course of construction, what is happening now. So if you see that amazing and beautiful architecture was there, the construction sites, rather the palaces and everything else was so precisely made. It's not that Britishers came and they enlightened us. No, it was not so. Because when we were technologically so advanced, they were still, in the Stone Age. So that's what the difference is. But when we were conquered, so the biggest and the most effective way to rule any country was to demean the existing race and tell them that you are no good. And then the entire things, because of burning the scriptures and everything, happened, and that is what led to our understanding of modern today. And what we understand is that since 1845, when Britishers came, they started building construction in Ganga Channel, and consisting of railways and channels, and construction of major bridges, airports. All that was their giving, but it was not so. Yes, they might have bought the technology at a later stage, what we see now, but the other, when it comes to the actual construction expertise, that was all eliminated. So all your knowledge is gone. What we today know is what they have provided. So that's how the history has evolved in construction. So now, coming to the modern era. So if we go by, how progressive this industry is and how this industry has progressed, so we must understand first that, as per the 5-year, constitution, that 5-year, 5-year plan, whatever you say about the government. So construction segment has been coming up with a greater alternate, rather a good partnership is happening between the government authorities and private bodies. So there are two schemes in construction that are more prevalent, and that is BOT and BOT schemes. So under PPP, that is Public-Private Partnership Initiative, through building operators transfer, that is through building operator transfer, that is BOT, and building own operate transfer, that is BOT, route is provided to be a blessing in disguise. Now these two things are happening now in India, and why this industry is of core importance, because see, India is first the land of cheap labor, and the qualified people are available, excellent opportunities are available, and the large number of construction companies are there in India. So majorly, if you look at a broader picture, there are around approximately 28,000 organized companies and 75 large contracting companies in India. So huge potential. So if you imagine 28,000 organized companies, that too in construction sector. So they are organized, but the sector is not organized. So all this is coming up, and from the ancient era to the modern time, slowly and gradually we are trying to pick up on in accepting the modern technology, and we are coming back online, and because of the qualification and expertise that are slowly and gradually growing. Now coming to the incidents on construction site. So although the large number of all these activities and all these companies have come up, but when it comes to incidents on construction site, it is alarming that most of the incidents that happen as per the international statistics or national statistics are happening in the construction industry. So if you look at the overall percentage, construction industry, what does the statistics of ILO states? ILO states that around, if you take around, say 165 people, out of which 100 are from construction worker and they get injured on job. And globally, construction labor accounts to 7.5% of labor force. So you have to imagine, globally the construction labor accounts to 7.5%, and labor force and sufferers are around 16.4% that suffers from fatal occupational accident. So that is the major concern that is there as per the statistics by ILO. Now coming to the Indian scenario. So the current status of safety in construction is primarily exposed to the non-issue, and despite all this, the construction workers are migrants mostly. They are not much skilled. They are they are not much educated. They are skilled but not much educated, but skilled in only their profession, not because they are doing it day in day out. They are doing it, so they are skilled but they are not educated actually. So they know their work, but they are not aware that what can affect them. So that is not known to them. So that's the major concern. And the larger picture is that they come with a baggage, and that is women and children as well, who are unaware of the activities, who don't even know what is going to happen around. So in India, TIFAC, that is Technology Information Forecasting and Assessment Council, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, has reviewed the state of the art safety and health prevention measures in construction industry in India, with particular emphasis on the role of construction companies, government, labor unions, educational institutions, NGOs, and what they are trying to do. They are trying to take the status of occupational safety and health in developed countries. So they are just trying to compare, and they are trying to build it up. So as per their report, unsafe work practices at construction work are improper building design, lack of guardrails, problem with exits, unsafe demolition methods, unsafe condition include improper elimination, improper material handling and storage, improper walking and working surfaces, improper protected bend floors and high platforms, obstruction and unclean floors and aisles, improperly stored trench and excavation, badly maintained tools, improper scaffolding, wrongly designed ladders and stairs, unstable and badly maintained lifting appliances, insufficient protection against fire and electrical hazards. So these are the major concerns that they have listed. Now, other than this, they have also listed down various, disease and mental physical stress, disability related to injuries, that is the health effect. So potential health hazards are noise, vibration, exposure to dust, radiation, improper sanitation. So all this is the major issues related to health in construction industry. Now coming to what happened and like what is happening here now in India is, in India, the Worker Compensation Act is there. So workers engaged in construction activities can receive compensation in case of injury or illness as per the Worker Compensation Act and Employees State Insurance Act. So when it comes to worker compensation, so WC policy, or you might have heard about ESIC, that is Employee State Insurance Act. So Employee State Insurance Act, under this and Worker Compensation Act, that is WC, so worker can get compensation. Now these are acts that are formed, but if we try and see the international scenario, like in America, the American Worker Compensation Law is there, and state status under which employee is bound to pay predetermined amount of compensation for any injury suffered by an employee. This is point number one, where when it comes to America. Similarly, in Australia, employers are liable to the employee for injury cost through the negligent order or other negligent act on employer's part. So if the injury suffered by the employee is partially the result of employee's own negligence, then the damage are recovered by the employer. So here things have changed. If you see the scenario in America and in Australia. So in Australia, what happens is, if you are able to prove that the employee has done unsafe practice, so you can recover it from him. That provision is also there. So government supports that. So similarly, because this is not there in India, so we are completely negligent. And plus, we also think that employer has no responsibility because he has given the contract on a PT contract or something like that. So it doesn't matter. So now coming to the role of government authorities. So now what the government is trying to do? So government is trying to constantly review and upgrade the concerned legislations. So there are different legislations involved. So it is not that only for construction industry legislations are these. No, because we have multiple number of law governing bodies. So we have multiple, legislation that are required to be implemented. So if one is going, somebody will refer another, and they will try and find reasons to justify or facilitate it. Now, facilitate process to form and review safety standards for construction industry. So this is what another concern. So the role of government authority is to facilitate process to form and review safety standard in construction industry. The another form that is to provide, the role of government authority is to provide health service to construction workers as offered to workers in other sectors. So these are the roles of government authorities that are currently in play. Well, this is what there is constant work is going on in this, and slowly and gradually there is a possibility that we might have a better condition of working conditions in construction as well. Now coming to the role of management. Now what is the role of management when it comes to construction industry? To give same priority of safety measure as to production and quality. Employ adequate staff for implementing safety policy. Provide proper training to personnel and conduct regular safety inspection. So this is the role of management. What is the role of trade union? Assist government commissions and other public committees dealing with the worker safety. Suggest and ask for investigation into the hazardous processes and provide and create awareness among their members. What does the regulatory measures say? So government of India has enacted Building and Other Construction Worker BOCW, Regulation of Employment and Condition of Service Act 1996, and has framed central rules thereunder in November 1998. The rules have been framed by most of the state governments. The BOCW rule, Worker Compensation Act, and Welfare Board are legislations applicable to this sector. Other important legislations are: first, the Factories Act 1948, State and Factory Rules, Motor Vehicle Act 1998, and the Central Motor Vehicle Rule 1989, the Environment Protection Act 1986, and various rules and notified thereunder. So these are the regulatory measures that are required. Now coming to the voluntary measures. So what are the voluntary measures? Voluntary measures are basically the additional legislative requirements that a construction industry has, adopted. Certain national and international standards are accepted by the organizations. Why? Because if you want to work internationally, or even if you're working domestically, so there are certain rules. If you're some MNC is investing in you, so you require some ISO standards. So it is not legally binding, but it is voluntary measures that are accepted. So you have to understand that no ISO system is legal binding. There is no legal requirement of ISO. It is just part of management system. So first, what type of ISO is applicable? ISO 14000, that is Environment Management System requirement with guidance for use. 18,000 or 45,000, that is Occupational Health and Safety system requirement with guidance for use. Now when it comes to managing environment, occupational health and safety legal compliance requirement of good practices, the IS standard is IS 15793 2007, and specifically to construction project management guide, the IS standard is IS 15883 part 5. So this you can refer for construction project management guidelines part 5, health and safety management. Now coming to the nature of construction industry. So construction projects in India are mandated by settling up a temporary site, and the employment is huge number of construction labor. Typically the composition of this team keeps on changing. Even the contractors that invest in training, motivation, motivating and involving this transit, highly mobile workforce in their corporate safety effort, face challenges because they carry out work that is constantly changing and where the risks are generally higher. Now, complex working conditions pose high risk, like metro sites, underfoot and underground conditions, surrounding disturbances, moving traffic, inadequate spaces, untimely work hours, pressures for completing the work, and rarely equipment failures. All this is work. So why work hours are unstable? Because sometimes construction activity has to start in the day, in night. So all those things are challenges, and again the construction site itself are a challenge. Then vehicular traffic, negligence, geological nature. You don't know where to have what can go around. So it is said that Indian construction industry is almost 10 to 15 years behind the Western world, but now things are changing. So we have covered almost 5-10 years now. So we are just a few more years behind them. But overall, if we see that because the country is labor centric and there are so many labor involved in these construction activity, so the major activities that are of major concerns are excavation, blasting, material handling, fabrication work, usage of plant machinery, gas cutting, welding, grinding structures, equipment erection and work at height. And for safe execution, this is required to some stringent measures are required here. So when it comes to construction industry, India today is a very large complex, but is rapidly growing, and some shortfalls are there, but they are slowly and gradually coming up. Now coming to identifying why accidents occur at construction site. So when we talk of why accidents occur on construction site, so accidents at the construction site are usually due to lack of communication among the various departments involved and lack of proper inspection. So when it comes to putting up some points, that what will be the points that you want to list why accidents happen. So the first point is collapse of building parts and masses of earth. Correct. So building parts and masses of earth can collapse in excavation. If you have constructed something, that can fall. Okay. Now objects or pieces can fall over the worker. Correct. Something can fall from above. Anything placed up can fall. Right. So falling objects. Now fall of person from height. Person can fall. object can fall, person can fall. Then loading, unloading and transportation of loads, that's also a major concern. Now working with machines is also a concern. Blasting with explosive is also a concern. So all this are these are the reasons why accidents occur at construction site. Coming to the occupational health at construction site. So what are the particulars or majors related to occupational health? So when it comes to occupational health, the major concern in construction site is silicosis, lead poisoning, disease of joints and bones, poisoning by carbon monoxide and benzene, that is gas that is leaked, and skin diseases. So these are the major health concerns at construction site. Now efforts in safety and health in construction site are, through the nature of hazard and risk are the same. Though the nature of hazard and risk are the same as developed and developing countries, the former to made concentrate efforts towards the identifying the adverse consequence that requires first carrying out research and investigation. This is how we can, these are the kind of efforts that are required. So carrying out research and investigation, arranging training and education programs, designing appropriate safety equipments, formulating effective legislation, and providing proper medical facilities. So these are the efforts that are required to be put in safety and health in construction industry. Now, need for modern approach in construction. So as you're all aware, like all this is happening, construction industry has a very broad span of approach. Rather, there are so many people involved there. So training to a large workforce should be organized in a more structured and a job specific manner through interactive methodologies. The workers who demonstrate good safety behavior practice should be motivated by the way of rewards, and enhanced field visits by line managers and interaction with the workers at the physiological, philosophical way of teaching them should be there. So this is the core factor. Now what we do is that we try and train them in English, which will not happen because they don't know that. So we have to give them training in the language that they understand. So it is more required. And the approach should be such that we have to tell them that this is what can happen to you. Only then they will realize. Because if we don't explain what can go wrong to them, you will not be able to convince them. Because they are not aware that, okay, this is happening. But when you try and ask them that, okay, do you have this problem? Do you have this problem? Do you have this problem? Does any of your colleague have this problem? And then you tell them why this problem has come to it. So this is how we primarily analyze it. From where we can find this out, we can find this fatal accident frequency rate. We can calculate. Correct? So fatal accident frequency rate, as per the international standard, it is said that around 0.2% of the workers in US are in construction industry, are from construction industry. Whereas when it comes to FAFR, that is fatal accident frequency rate in India, in construction industry it is about 15%. So 2% and 15% is a huge difference. And we have to understand that is a strong planning and a continuous improvement or a training programs are required in this segment. And it is like people think that, okay, these are temporary labors, why to put efforts into it. But imagine one temporary laborer is working, he or she is working at your premises, and if they are not trained, what will happen? If some accidents happen, it will cost you more than what it would have costed you for the training. So proper set guidelines and the procedures to be established. It is not required to spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees, but at least some efforts are required to be put there. So what is the modern way or the approach that we have developed? So we have developed an approach that is called 3 phase of total safety management system. So what are these 3 phases? So the first phase is planning and preparation phase. The second phase is identification and assessment phase, and the third phase is execution and improvement phase. So as the name suggests, every aspect, planning, preparation, identification, assessment, execution, and improvement phase. So there is a continuous improvement process that has been accepted. So when it comes to a total quality management executive, that is TQM, application. So it is more applicable and it gives a better approach, rather a hand-holding approach to the workers, so that your site is much safer, your overall operations become much safer. So this is the kind of approach that we need to have. I hope you have liked the video by now, and you have hit the bell icon and the subscribe button if you have listened till now. So subscription is very much important to us. Thanks for everybody's motivation. We'll keep uploading such videos, and thank you very much, friends.